welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an experiment that may or may not be controversial in the yarn dyeing community. I'm going to be dyeing acrylic yarn. Yes, I made this vest last week. It is cute. It is Wednesday Addams from the show Wednesday Addams. This is actually the second version of the vest I made. I have the original one actually right here. This was the original. This is my second one. This one, I kind of made it more to my style. It's pretty much almost identical to hers, except I made my squares a little bit bigger. I had already gotten the back part of this done. And then in my head, I'm just like, well, if I'm already not being like 100% true to the original, stitch for stitch, why am I using colors that I'm never really gonna wear? I'm not gonna make it again, all right? I got so many other projects to do that making a second or a third version of this isn't in the cards for me right now. If I was gonna make a third version, which I'm not, I would have probably done brown and like an orangey brown, or black and a brown. And this yarn here, which is the Bonus DK Hayfield yarn, actually has those colors, and I've actually made a sweater with those colors, okay? So I don't know why I decided to try to redo it in the same colors when I already have one. That's why I want to dye this. I'm thinking about dyeing it brown. Have I dyed yarn in the past? Absolutely not. I got synthetic dye for synthetic fibers, acrylic, synthetic. So I decided to go with a chocolate brown color because if this doesn't really grasp onto it and it doesn't make it a dark brown, at least the white, I hope, might turn more beige. And I can deal with that. I can deal with black and beige. I honestly think that this is probably the best bet in order for me to wear this. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out well, I'll try to wear this somehow. I really like the shape of it. I like the fit. I steamed it, so I kind of melted the fibers. Putting it in hot water, if it needs hot water, I really don't know. I have to read the directions. I think we'll be fine because I've already melted it. And if it turns out to be a soup, oh well, it's fine. We tested it out. Oh, now we know what happens for next time. But you know what? If this turns out really well, maybe I'll take some other projects that I didn't really like and dye them too. This is an experiment and we're gonna see how it goes. If you are new to my channel and you like crocheting and yarn and thrifting in the 80s and like all that jazz, why not hit the subscribe button?
Several days later.
I ended up going to Central Pearl to pick up this pot. Stephanie, who runs Central Pearl, she used to do so much dyeing, and so when I was telling her that I kind of wanted to dye that vest, she's like, I have a pot for you. Because you don't want to use a pot that you use for cooking. You want a pot that's just for dyeing. So this is what we got. Also, I may or may not have bought something, so let's do a little yarn haul because it's me, and if I go into a yarn store, I'm probably gonna leave said yarn store with yarn. Anyways, I bought more paper yarn, but this is different paper yarn. I've wanted to buy these from her since she got them in, but she got them in literally like a week after I did my paper yarn review with the Wool and the Gang paper yarn, so I wasn't able to include this with that, but I don't know where it is, have another paper yarn somewhere. So maybe I'll just do a whole video dedicated to paper yarn. And then I bought something that I absolutely do not need at all, but I really liked it, so I bought it. And that's this. I picked up these. These are for needles. Knitting needles. When was the last time I knit something? I'm pretty sure it was January. And I'm like, I'm gonna knit this year, and then I completely lost interest. It's not that I lost interest, it's just I'm faster at crocheting, and if I'm gonna make something, I'm gonna crochet something. But don't worry, I will be getting back into knitting. I wanna knit some socks, I wanna do some knitting projects, but that may or may not be November, December, January. Anyways, I went there to get this pot. I still haven't read the back of this. So this is Rit Dye, synthetic. The color I got was chocolate brown. The directions say, before dyeing, pre-wash fabric to remove any finishes or stains. Shake well before using, wear rubber gloves, add water to stainless steel pot. Stainless steel pot. Water temperature should be 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You have to do this on the stove, and I've never done that before. Anytime that I have dyed something, it has been in the washing machine because I have like that top load washing machine. So we're gonna do what they say, although I think I might add more of this than they say, so it's a little bit more darker. I should do a test swatch. Sure. Am I? I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm just gonna submerge the whole thing and we're gonna see how that goes. I'm either gonna do it today or tomorrow, depending on when it's best for me to, you know, use the stove to do this. Hoping to get it done either today or tomorrow, so then that way I can let it dry and set and like wash it and like all that jazz before the final try on, before the video comes out, right? Hopefully it dyes okay. First, I had to wait for the water to boil in the pot, which literally felt forever. I also made sure that my vest was soaking wet before I put it in the dye. Here I am adding some soap because it told me to. And then I shook the bottle really, really well and dumped the entire thing in. stirred it up a little, and then I added the vest in, and there was no going back after I did this. Oh, I was very nervous when I did this, because I'm just like, what am I doing? Should I have done this? This is what it looked like after about 15 minutes of it being in there, and I was very scared. This here is after about 30 minutes of it being in there. And then I rinsed it out in the basement sink. And this is the color it looked like once I was done rinsing it. Update on the vest. So we might have gotten a little off the rails. It stretched out a lot. It took the dye. It took the dye. Sir, either you leave the room or you get in the room. Okay, the dye worked. It took it. It didn't take it the greatest though. As you can see, I had a chocolate brown. It was dark. This is like a mocha, like chocolate milk. This is more chocolate milk than dark chocolate. I love it though. Like it did turn brown, and that is what I wanted. It's not white anymore. I'm going to do a try on, and we're gonna see how it goes, because I think I may have to cut it up a little bit. Thank goodness it's all in panels. I'm gonna try it on with this white top. I hope the dye is all out. I did put it in the washing machine, and I think that's what might have caused it to stretch, although I do want to say that I did put it in one of those delicate little zip bags, you know, the mesh bags. I did put it in there. I think it was from the dyeing process of like the really hot boiling water and acrylic. It was the whole reason why I picked this yarn, is because I knew that I was going to steam it and I was going to stretch out the fibers. But if I would have known that it wouldn't have turned out the way that I liked with the colors, then I wouldn't have done that. And I think it would have just stretched out when I dyed it. So let's see how this looks. Oh my, okay. Oh my. I might be regretting doing what I did. It's flowy. Well, a little too flowy. Have an idea. First off, this V-neck I think was supposed to go up here. I'm thinking I'm going to bring this up, maybe bring it up to, where's my clips? So all I'll be doing is taking it apart, if it will let me take it apart. The length is, I guess, okay. And then I'm thinking the sides, I might just take these black panels out. Remember the black panels that I put in the side in the original video? I think I might just take those out. I think that's a good idea. Let me go check my mirror, because it's really hard to see. I don't know if you can see the vision that I can see it, but when I'm looking in like my regular mirror without my really bright light on, it looks pretty cool. It actually looks intentional, like I intentionally did it like this. So I'm not worried about it. I don't know if I would wear the white underneath. I think I probably would wear like a black shirt underneath this, but I just wanted to show you kind of what it looked like before like the final reveal. Today, I'll be taking it apart. But also, if I have to cut it and sew it up, it's okay, because remember, if you watched my original video for this, every single thing on this is its own panel. I did not make the whole thing together. Thank goodness I didn't do that. I'm going to take 2 squares off the top here, 2 squares off the top here, and I'm going to take a whole panel, this black panel off on both sides, and then I'm going to sew everything together. Okay, let's try taking this apart. I just took my scissors out and I've lost them. There they are. Okay, it's kind of coming off. That's okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. This is everything that I took off of the vest. That's what it looks like. It's very soft though, and I think it would make good stuffing if I ever want to make like a plushie or something. I took everything apart. I took the side panels off. I just ended up cutting them. Now I'm going to sew it up. I am going to use the newer yarn just so that way it looks a little bit nicer, and like the old yarn is just, it's going to tangle itself up, and I don't want to deal with that. This is where we are right now. I kind of regret taking 2 squares off. I should have only done 1 square. The front is fine. The back part is not happening. I do like the fit of it. I like the color. I actually like this, and I can see how I could wear it and what it would look like in the end, like for the end result. But I just think I made it a little too short. So I think I'm gonna do some ribbing on the bottom, mainly because like this part is just, it's weird. I think I'm gonna do like light ribbing at the bottom all the way around in the black yarn, and we'll see how that goes. And if you know what, I hate it, then I hate it, but I don't think I was gonna wear it the other way anyway. So even though, yes, I know I took it apart, the other version was pretty good, I could have worn the other version, it would have been fine, I don't think I would have worn it. This one I would wear if it turns out okay. So we're just gonna have to see if it turns out okay. Like I said, I'm doing a border on the bottom of this, but I'm doing something different that I've never done before, is I'm using a very large crochet hook. Well, for me, okay, it's a 7mm. I know that's not technically a large crochet hook. I normally don't go any higher than a 5. This is what it's kind of looking like, and I kind of wanted to mimic this. So I think I'm gonna do more. Okay, all right, even though taking it apart, I don't really want to take it apart, but I might as well take it apart right now before I get too far. Also, doing it in a 7mm crochet hook took me no time at all. Did 5 up, either 7 or 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's gonna look a lot better. Just finished doing the bottom ribbing and I think it looks pretty good. What I did notice is when I tried it on, I feel like the armhole isn't as wide as I would like it to be. So I think I'm gonna take 1 square off of each and hopefully that goes okay. Still got to weave in the ends and maybe do a little border around everything with the 7mm hook as well, just to give it a little bit more definition. I did the border. I forgot to film. I know. Like, well, if I just do the one border, you know, and then I know what I'm doing and then I'll film the rest, and then I don't film the rest. So now I'm just going to weave in all the ends and then I'm going to call it a day and we're going to see how it looks. It's done. Why is it always the Wednesday vest that I just can't get right? Because the first one I did, when I first made it, I didn't like the fit of it. And so I had to like hack into it and like cut it up a little bit, shorten it a bit, do some things. And in the end, I still didn't care for it. Then this one, it's fine. I've learned my lesson. I figured some things out, okay? First off, I do want to point out, I love this. I love how it fits. I love the color. I love pretty much everything about this. Also the way that this is like rolling like onto my arm, that is exactly what I have been looking for in a vest, because what will normally happen is it will stick out like this, and that's not what I want. This, okay? This is what I want. Although it took me a while to get here, I really like this vest. It got to a point yesterday where I was like, what am I doing? I shouldn't have done anything. And now we see the vision. Also, my hair clip is Swiss cheese, yes. This is what we came from. If you watch that video, I was gonna do it in like a whole solid piece. Thank goodness I did not do that, because then this would not have been able to happen. So I had stopped and, you know, started this one. But this is what we had, okay? This was the original. This was way too white, way too bright. This is what I was looking for. First off, the whole point of this video was, can you dye acrylic? Yes, but I would not suggest it. Did use it on this particular vest, this vest that I steamed the heck out of and might have melted the yarn in the process. So maybe it wouldn't have got as stretched out if I hadn't stretched it out before I dyed it and then put it in the washing machine. Now the color I used was a chocolate brown, like a dark chocolate brown. Like this outline of this mushroom here, that dark of a chocolate brown was what it looked like. And then it came out more of like a milk chocolate. In person, like I feel like, I don't know if you can see it that well, but it is a lighter brown, and honestly, I'm kind of happy that that did happen, because it wouldn't be so matchy-matchy to the black yarn that I already used, so you can still see the checkerboard pattern. Would I ever dye another project again? I'm gonna be honest with you, probably not, because I hated the experience. I don't know how y'all dyers do it. I can't. Because first off, I had to wait for the water to boil, and I had to use a lot of water to do that. And that took a really long time. Then I had to stand there and stir consistently. Stirred this thing for 30 minutes, and it said up to an hour, and I'm like, we're stopping it at 30 minutes, and I don't care if the dye takes or not, because I can't do this anymore. Would I dye acrylic yarn again? I'm gonna say no. I'll just buy the yarn color that I want next time and just do it the right way the first time. didn't care for the process, and then having to like dry it out and stuff like that. And what I ended up doing is I did use one of those like delicate bags that you would get to put like delicates in to wash. And so I put that in there so it wouldn't like really stretch out and warp, and it told me to wash it with a towel. So that's what I did. And so it was in that bag, and I don't know if it was because of the hot water, because when I was actually stirring it, I could see it stretching out. It also could have been when it was wringing out the water in the washing machine. Even though it was in that protective bag, it did really stretch out. So much so that I had to take apart the panel. But lucky me, the checkers all line up. Like they still do like a brown, black, brown, black. I thought it was going to be like two of the same color touching, and at that point I was done. Like I'm like, that's fine. But look at that, the colors just completely continue. So I didn't even have to put those side panels in. It also stretched out really long at the bottom, and it started doing like this weird warpy wavy thing. And that is why I put the border on the bottom. So for the border on the bottom, I used a 7mm crochet hook when this yarn tells me to use a 4. And because I used the bigger hook, in my head I'm like, I should have just done that from the beginning, because I knew I wanted this yarn to be like really kind of like open. Like you see how like the stitches are, like I wanted it to look like that, hence why I steamed it the first time. I should have just used a bigger crochet hook. I'm very much rule abiding when it comes to crochet hooks. It tells me to use a 4, I use a 4. Except for, you know, like the Red Heart granny yarns and the all-in-one square yarns, when they tell you to use a 5.5. No. For the most part, I am very true to what they tell me to use, I use. But if I want something to be flowy like this in the future, like look at how nice and stretched out this ribbing is. I could have just done that for the whole thing. So that's good. I did learn that. That's good to know, right? So like I did learn a lot from this project. What I ended up doing for the collar and for around here is I did a single crochet border with the 7mm crochet hook. I don't know if you really can tell. And then I did it over here too. I really tried to weave in as many ends as I could get, because tearing this apart, oh my goodness, there were so many ends, and then all the ends were obviously like all curly and everything because they were steamed, and so when I took them off they were just all over the place. I probably give this an 8 out of 10. Was a doozy, but overall I really like how this turned out. I think it is so cute. I love the colors of it now. I feel like this is something that I would wear in my wardrobe. This is probably how I would wear it, with like a mock neck, or if I had like a really nice, maybe like a silk or something, kind of like, maybe not real silk because that's expensive, but maybe if I thrift something that's silk. But like one of those like more flowy button-up shirts with the cute little collar, I would wear that with this. And for the pants, I'm just wearing like these brown pants that I recently bought, and I think it looks so good together. I also think like a skirt would be good, like a nice plaid skirt or a black skirt. I'm really into like those tennis skirts that have like the shorts in them. I love them. I have been wearing them recently and they're so cute, especially with like a sweater. So like this with a cute little skirt and some cute little shoes and tights, that'd be so adorable. Like this top, now I can envision it how I would wear it. But the other one, I just really couldn't figure that out, and I think it was just because the white was so bright. I don't know, it clashed with everything else. But I feel like this is something I will wear now because I think it is cute. I love the fit of it. It's nice and it's flowy. I think for like the most part it looks pretty good, and because it is a darker color, I don't think it's really going to be that noticeable where I messed up. In the comments below, let me know if y'all have tried to dye with acrylic yarn before and how it went for you. I feel like the dye just didn't take as well as it could have, because this was a white, so you think that the pigment, like it would have gotten a lot more darker, and it didn't, and that's okay. This is actually the color that I was trying to achieve, and I used the whole bottle. But let me know if y'all have dyed acrylic and what happened with your projects, because I would like to know if you experienced the same thing that I did. So I think that does it for this video. So y'all have a good day now.